Welcome, folks. 18-footer racing, Sydney Harbour, New South Wales Championship, Heat 3, 11 December 2022. I'm Andrew Buckland, today in the Camera Cat with the usual cast of technicians. Joining us in commentary today, special guest Phil Barnett. Cub, welcome.
Thanks, Bucko. Good to be back. Looking like an excellent day for 18-foot skiff racing.
It's funny, isn't it? For 2 years we didn't have one of these. You know, we didn't have this sort of mild building nor'easter, did we?
No, and like this is more of a traditional summer breeze than we've been expecting. A little bit light at the moment. Maybe get up to 18 knots. I was hoping for more.
Yeah, we're all hoping for more. So, the Sid Barnett Memorial Trophy is the race. So, Cub, that was your grandfather who died at an unfortunately young age.
A very young age of 30, Bucko, back in 1935. Unfortunately passed away from pneumonia, which is something now, you know, it's treatable, as we know. And so, yeah, bit of a sad day today on the Barnett family, but very great that the club also honours his memory.
Yep, no, we try to maintain the rage about all the things that happened in the past that informed us.
Maintain the rage.
I think, indeed. So Shaw & Partners is this week's sponsor, and obviously they had a couple of boats out last week, they're back to one boat this week. Step-in men from the Andu Comanche, back to proper work, I think, with the Hobart race not very far away in preparation terms. So we have to pay credit to last week's winner, the Andu, in pretty strong form. And Cub, I know you watched the tape. They were pretty impressive, weren't they?
Yeah, like I've been watching all the races with a lot of interest since the start of the season, and you know, they've been sailing exceptionally well. Unfortunately, today they're down their main sheet hand. Sevi seems to have been susceptible to COVID. Good stand-in. Matty Stenner's on board. So we'll see how they go, but I think they'll be lacking the kilos today.
A little, yeah, mate. Yeah, Matty a bit lighter, but, you know, part of the Gildan winning outfit last year and one of the most highly respected skiff sailors that we know, Jimmy. That's correct, isn't it? We just need to have a look at last week's, the point score arising from last week's after two races. So Andu cleanly in front, Yandu with a 6 and a 2, Smeg with a 2 and a 6, Fisher and Pikell 4 and a 5. Consistent Birkenhead Point, where your grandson is, Cub.
My son.
Your son, sorry.
My son.
Your son, sorry. I'm blaming you there, aren't I? Shaw & Partners, Ilvey with a DNF last week, dropped him down. Kitchen Maker and Lazarus Capital rounding up the top 10.
So, Bucko, nice steady day today. Any upsets? Predicting an upset at all?
No, it's pretty regulation. This is a big drag race test, isn't it? And a handling test. And so we just go through the weather now, Cub, because, you know, what we've got here is actually not a standard Sydney sea breeze. It's gradient nor'east with thermal on top, leading a convection out the back of the bus. So temperature here, water temperature about 21. Temperature's land temperature to the west of us in the western suburbs will be above 30 at the afternoon peak. And that's generating enough gradient that we've got convection and augmented flow, and it's funneling all the way down Sydney Harbour more or less. So if we ask for a single point estimate, we'd say 16 and perhaps towards 20 at the end, and in the compression parts, the last lap against the headlands, and probably pretty bumpy water the last time around in particular. So, Cub, you know, you and I sat there and worked through the model, and we couldn't, you know, we can't make any more prediction than that. That's in, you know, some of the models have got it quite a bit softer, but that is in line broadly with the ECMW model for those viewers interested.
You know, that was interesting sitting there going through with you, Bucko. Look, probably in my mind, this Breeze, if we're back in the old days, was your classic number 2 rig.
Yeah.
When they had 3 rigs. Now the boats have only got the 2.
Yeah.
They're 99% chosen to go with their number 2 rig. So it's going to be a little bit light for them to start off with. But maybe that last work up to the Beetle Boy, I could maybe see them in a little bit fresher breeze.
That's right.
Hopefully.
So Jimmy, let's just remind everybody what the course is, because the classic, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Bucko. Yeah, it's the Northeast course today, which is we've been on it for the last couple of weeks, which is quite good to see. Last year we didn't get on it once, but we start down here at Clark Island, work all the way up to the Sound Pigs, then round Shark Island, back down here, then all the way back up to the Pigs around the Beetle Boy, and a straight run down to Clark Island, work our way back up around the Beetle Boy for the last time, tight little reach around Shark Island, and little dart to the finish down here off Clark Island.
And Jimmy, for the viewers, you know, the risks that come to play the last lap are quite serious in the last time down around the Shark, aren't they?
Yeah, well, you got that little vortex underneath Steel Point there that, you know, you got to pick your line, and generally, it really hasn't changed. I think from when we're all doing it, you want to pick your jibe angle at the middle of Shark Island and hope for the best, and hope that you had 2 pies for lunch instead of 1 to get around the corner of Shark Island. Because back when we were doing it, it was literally the totem pole on the end of Shark Island. Now it's around the YA mark, which is just added, like an extra sort of 100 metres thereabouts, that you've just got to have your ring hanging out just a little bit longer.
Yeah. But we've seen some incidents, Jimmy, where we've declared the winner before they got past the lump and bump of Point Piper, including some pretty skilled campaigners, and they were sunk in rapid form in the bump.
Yeah, well, you got the bump. There's a lot of charter vessels obviously go up and dump people off up there in Rose Bay, and they want to get back to their berth as quick as possible, so they create the Cumcot alleyway there, as Shippo would probably call it. Killer used to call it the Dardanelles, but it's definitely sunk some serious campaigners in the time.
Yeah, in the nor'east in particular. Remember one time in particular, Marcus Ashley-Jones and his guys, 200 yards from the finish, we'd given them the ribbon and they just ate it.
Yeah, it was quite funny. I spoke to Marcus the week after that. He goes, "Did you get it on camera?" It's like, "Yeah, we did, Marcus." And that's all he wanted to do. He goes, "I sort of had that feeling that we were going to eat it." And they go, "Do you want me to rag the chute?" And the answer was no, just let it ride. And we were there to capture it, and there's a 5-minute gun.
Send it to Davy Jones's locker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just about here, Cub. It wasn't,
I think I remember seeing that on the on the coverage. Yeah, great stuff.
Okay, Cubby, you're in charge of tactics today.
All right. Well, I think we've got a little bit more. There's a slight east tangent in the breeze here at the moment.
Well, Cubby, solve the first problem first. How are we going to get off the starting line?
Well, you got to go to the pin.
See, another pin man.
Well, just look at the start line. I think the starter may have got it slightly biased towards the pin, trying to keep the paint good on the
Ripple side.
Ripple side, yeah. So look, there's already a 20-metre advantage gained down at the pin.
Not far off the 4 minutes here, guys.
Big run out tide. So if you do head to Bradley's, make your first tack. The tide's with you. Everything's in your favour.
4 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, characteristically, as we would know, the first boat to get to the strong flow leads at Bradley's.
Okay, and if you've got half a little bit of gall about you, if you do start at the start boat, you want to make sure you're right on the line and hammer it times.
Max pace too, right?
Max pace, absolutely. Yeah. With this slight bit of east and run out tide, it's not going to affect you as much as a run in tide. So, would like to see the line a little bit fairer, but it's not too bad.
No, I'm going to say I think it's pretty good, the line cup.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a little disagreement with you.
It'd be unusual for you to have a disagreement, Bucko.
Okay. No, unusual. Unusual. But it'll be a terrific sail, and Sydney Harbour looking a picture. Also on the harbour today, the veteran Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. So a pretty good fleet of boats from times past, we'll say, Jimmy.
Yes, yeah. We on our way over today, we swung through them and had a look, and we've seen our co-commentator Peter Shipway out there on Love and War enjoying himself. So it's that's his 1 week off.
That's his long service week, indeed.
Yeah, well, we had him on all week with the CYCA stuff for the big boats. So it was, you know, he does this regatta every year. So you know, it's no hassle in the world, and we got suitable replacements in the Mighty Cub joining us. So
no, all good. No,
Thanks, Shippo, for letting me in.
Shipway's allegiance to the Love and War is a thing of something.
Rusted on, isn't it?
Rusted on, exactly.
Rusted, yeah.
Exactly.
And
corroded.
just a quick shout out to the Bobby Dazzler, I believe, is back watching us finally. So welcome back, Bobby Dazzler. There's
G'day,
Love and
brother.
War in the shot there in the background with the blue spinnaker.
How about that, man?
So
Aqua colour. 2 minutes for the 18-footers. Breeze a little soft in close here, Cub. But
Yeah, no, it has. I just seeing where the fleet's starting to sit behind us.
they're all lining up as if towards the pin.
The early boats heading to the pin, Rag and Famish.
Yeah.
Harry does like the pin. I've seen him. He loves it.
Well, it's wind strength at the start here now is quite similar to last week, actually.
Any new boats here today, Bucko?
They had a big front.
new boats.
New boats.
The Balmain Slake was a new boat last week,
Okay.
Cubby, and
Right.
I
No
guess-
Keegan? No
no,
Keegan York?
Keegan will be after Christmas.
Right.
He's
Was he in retirement or something? Semi-retirement. Job share.
Jimmy.
He's been filling in on with Marcus, been doing a bit of timeshare on board there on the Lazarus.
So the Andu coming back on port towards the committee boat. Didn't like the look of the pin. Rag and Famish shadowing them quite closely. And plenty of action for the last 40 seconds here. Andu now smashing away. Hammer down hard, going for the pin.
He's going hard as just there.
Ooh.
Big bear away, round underneath the Rag and Famish.
Those two have been playing games before every start for the past 3 weeks now. So
Yep.
Bit of an even line, really, Bucko.
No, I was saying I don't think there's any real bias. I think I'll be happy to start. Subject to how much wind there is, Cub. There's no wind at the windward end of the line where we are.
That's good.
Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I think there might be one of those recall-y things.
Let's see. A couple of boats over for my mind. Oh, General.
going astern.
Yes.
They're going astern signal.
All a bit keen for that third heat, mate.
Yeah, they all got
Which with the run out tide you sort of come to expect, right? Like
and they all got rocking pretty early, to be honest with you, Cub. And you know, furthest over, well, I'm not sure, but
Sort of middle to left. For the
the Royal Oak Four Pines might have been the primary culprit. But there we go. Okay.
So what do you think of the cruise? You know, like there's a lot of new crews here this year. We're pushing towards Christmas, the pointy end of the season's not far after that. They're really starting to find their way. And do you think there's a bit of nerves out there at the moment?
Well, Cub, here's the thing. There's people finding their feet, and it takes that takes half a season if they're new in.
100%. Yeah, they got a lot of new combinations there, and
Exactly.
I've been impressed by a couple of the boats since the start of the season, and the 18-footers bar and grill with Pedro and his crew. They've come a long way since the start of the season. So, you know, every now and again a boat impresses you when you see them on the water. I think they've done really well from day one kickoff.
Yeah, but they've been doing their homework, and their preparation's pretty good.
I've been impressed also with the Rag and Famish, Harry Price and his new crew. You know, Josh and Harry, they started the season off with a bang. They've had a couple of little setbacks, even a capsize last week.
There's 5.
Ably supported by their super coach, Larry Cargill. I think we're going to see more from those young guys.
Well, they'd be disappointed if they weren't in the top 3 of at least the Australian title and challenging for the win.
And I suppose Smeg, you know, Michael Coxon, Ricky and Tommy Anderson. Well, a few people are just a bit surprised he's just a little bit out of it.
Well, they've improved significantly.
Yep.
New combination too, Cubby, this year. So it's like I think it's just that taking that extra little bit just to gel with Tommy stepping into the boat. So
the old bloke set in his ways, Cocker.
We're not changing. But,
No.
The one that's impressed me, Cubby, and not just because you're here, is the young guys on Birkenhead Point. Like they've just been a lot more consistent this year, all the way through the 3 boys. Now into the state titles, they're really starting to string races together. You know, like when they were sailing here previously on Vintech, you know, they'd have a, you know, they've had a win.
Yep.
But they'd have an 18th to back it up. You know, it was never a consistent sort of runway for them. But you know, they're definitely impressing us this year.
No, they're a keen young crew, and I know we've got a lot more to come from the Birkenhead guys. There's a big program over Christmas which involves the use of our garage and putting a new deck on the boat and some sail recuts to be done. And
just a few boat builders there.
Yeah. Well,
all 3 of them.
You'd like to think they could do it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, young Kirks, Mitchell, the skippers, impressed me. They're all Drummoyne juniors, and big shout out to Drummoyne juniors. It's a great place for young sailors to grow up and do their sailing. And now the Palace, and now they're in the big league. So let's see what happens. Yeah, very proud of young Dan, 5th generation sailor.
In the bow, the wrong end of the ship, though.
well,
That's what you started.
I thought you were saying when there was a big program.
I started as a foreign end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So look, the guys, young Andrew Stevenson on the sheet with the Birkenhead guys. He was Kirk's forward hand when they won the Cherub Australian Championship. So there's a lot of skill there. So look, fingers crossed for the Birkenhead guys. We're keeping an eye on them. They got it all up in front of them at the moment, though.
Can't be helping out. All good. No, but they've been significantly improved, as Jimmy observed. 2 minutes 20. Fleet still not even mildly racked up.
All right, the harbour seems to have cleared a little too. Like there was quite a lot of boats out here when we first hit the water, and you know, probably getting on towards 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, some of these guys have just disappeared to their bays to have a glass of shardy or something.
Well, as you pointed out earlier, Cubby, over in Athol, you could nearly walk from boat to boat. So we're looking forward to the march home from them all at once. That'll be Waimea Bay.
So all the charter boats post-COVID are all back into it. All sorts of incidents on the harbour last night, from what I could hear.
Summary went past one page.
Yes, it did.
Okay, Cub, 1:30.
All right, let's see if we can
do a bit better this time, eh?
Well, they're all a bit conservative at the moment. They're all sitting well back.
Well, they learned a little lesson the first time.
Let's just hope the starter keeps that black flag.
No, he's got to get it up after the next one.
They want to get into their prawns and everything for Christmas. So, 1 minute. Just a reminder for the viewers, this will be our last broadcast for this year. We'll be back on the 15th of January. So,
a little bit fatter for the Christmas turkey and ham.
Speak for yourself.
I don't think Bucko could put a kilo on if he tried.
All right, folks, 30 seconds, a little more than 30.
Okay, so Rag's got his normal position down the far end of the line.
And Andu in close proximity, who would have thunk? Balmain also in their mix, and they've pulled off a couple of good leeward enders during the course of this year too, Cub, the Balmain Slate Boys.
Yep.
Anyway, here we go.
Yep. And Shore and Partners tucked right in behind us here on the. He's going to take the boat end of the line. Maybe just a little late.
10 seconds to go. Plenty of room down the leeward end.
Smeg's looking early. Greg, oh, let's see. Oh, there's an individual recall, Bucko. I'd say it's Smeg, but let's wait for confirmation.
No, he's just brought away.
Yeah.
Or he just stopped. Well done, Cub.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, Shore and Partners hasn't done too badly here. Chose the boat end. But if you voluntarily come back to restart, you must have been well and truly over.
A boat length over.
Yeah, good.
And they've dropped the individual, so...
Yeah.
Yandu in a good spot there. John Winning and his crew. So it looks to me, Bucko, potentially the boats at the pin end didn't get right to the pin, so they've been suffering because of that.
Yeah, but I think you'll see they can sail quite a long way. Enough ride in the breeze.
Okay.
They've got a long runway here.
The other interesting thing you've got, which just is probably underneath, or somewhere near where the drone is the James Craig's coming around Bradley's covey, so...
As usual.
Right on cue.
So Cub and the breeze up to 16 here now, I would say.
Yeah. Well, maybe swung back into a true northeast as well. That little east slant's gone.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about the breeze funneling in around Bradley's Head, and I think that's what we're seeing.
So, subject to one thing and another, Andu leads.
Big call.
Big call.
Big call.
Big call.
Okay. I'm sticking with Shore and Partners. Bucko on the right.
Well, let's see how it plays out.
Okay.
Long progressive header with the current strongest on the left edge.
Okay.
And the left edge being Bradley's Head for the viewers at home.
Fantastic bit of pressure at the headland. Wow. So let's see what happens here.
Definitely the James Craig's going to play a part in this. Maybe Rag gets past them.
Yeah.
But then they've got to decide whether how far they're going there.
The Rag's only got 100 metres of runway left.
It's not far. It's all where the wind ain't.
Yeah.
Under Bradley's there.
If you're looking for that winning edge, you've got to go past James Craig if
He's looking at the wind surface in front of him and going, let's figure this out, boys. He knows where he can't go. Here he goes.
He's head there.
Yep, and that was well judged, I'd say. Plenty of jib off. Oh, and the main sheet drop. Ooh. Joshy, going on there.
Plenty of starboard traffic coming too.
Well,
so
that got rid of any ducking problem anyway.
Yeah.
It was a planned move.
So the Andu is going to tack, I would say, or they're going to go across the Craig.
Balmain Slate doing well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another ferry coming in from Manly as well behind the Craig. Wow.
That's brave.
That is brave. Andu not far off attack. Sorry, viewers. Let's have a look.
Lazarus at the tack.
It's a crowded little spot, isn't it, mate?
Absolutely. Like, there's always a bottleneck around Bradley's, and especially just after the start of a skiff race.
Yep.
Shore and Partners still doing okay on the right.
Well, let's see if Andu comes out of there in one piece.
Johnny Winning's doing pretty well again. That I like the configuration they've got with that jib going out a little bit further.
Both them and Andu have got that.
It seems to be pretty much so somewhat the norm now on just about all of them.
So, Cub, Yandu just crossing Andu, so...
Okay, all right.
There you go.
So
A
that's
repeat of last week.
Oh, look, there you go, Bucko. The Andu crossing the Shore and Partners.
Yeah. But Shore and Partners done a good job.
Excellent.
So, you know, they're solidly third and haven't had to tack yet, you know. And they get the full benefit of the compression on the northern side of the headland here.
Andu lifting nicely out from the Bradley's Head tack on port.
Well, just, yeah. So Andu, Shore and Partners and Yandu, the left-hand most boats, looking great. Breeze here, 16, I would say, in the compression.
All of a sudden, there's that slight little bit of north on this shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the bend from the compression air cup. So
Yep.
on the camera boat, we're about 20 feet away from the 18-footer Bar and Grill and about 10 feet away from Fisher and Pike Hill. Nicely done, Jimmy.
Oh, good, mate.
Yeah.
Heart rate hasn't moved an inch.
No, good.
So just struggling a little bit behind us, I can see Smeg in the distance. He's suffering from his slight indiscretion of being over the line at the start. So let's just follow his race during the day. He's been good at the comeback. Yeah.
Very uncharacteristic for him to be over.
All right, so we've got Yandu crossing Yandu.
But those two boats, Andu and Yandu, are fairly comfortably clear. Shore and Partners clear third.
Well,
Regan Hamish got in a bit of trouble when they come off the headland on port. So further back. So Woody probably going to the left air and the smoother water on the left edge here, I would say, on the Yandu.
Rags is tacked back. Quite back in the fleet at the moment, the old Rag and Famish.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at
just tacked.
Yandu, Andu and Shore and Partners at the moment. First, second and third.
So, and we didn't mention it in the warm-up, but on the Barrowang today, in the bow, Michael Kennedy, the Bowman ex of the Yandu, still got it in him at 50-something.
Good on him. And they're in the top six.
Yeah, and they're only about 3 bailers behind Andu.
Ready to strike.
And there's the chasing pack with the new Balmain Slate racing boat there, Cubby.
And they'd be happy with that, wouldn't they, Jimmy? They're in contention and they've avoided any major issues in the first 5-6 minutes.
Well, remember last week, Bucko, they had something go wrong. They couldn't complete.
Yeah.
So
The grapevine's telling me the non-skid on the deck was quite slippery.
Wasn't
yeah.
that other non-skid, was it?
Yeah. I think the boys are using some sort of new fabric on the boat and wasn't quite what they were expecting. So
the rubberised stuff, or
hopefully they sorted that out during the week.
yeah, some of that rubberised flooring you've got to actually scuff up with a bit of sandpaper and other bits and pieces just to give it some grip, and do the same at the bottom of your boots.
Get rid of the silicon.
Yep.
Nice shot of Andu tacking there. So in my mind, the race leader currently with Andu.
Well, Yandu leads. Andu has lost going out to the right a little, I think, Cup.
Let's just see, they're out of the tide. Wow, over here, a little bit flatter water.
Flatter water.
I like flat water.
Don't we all? So we're travelling with Yandu on screen, coming up to the cross here with...
Yeah, he's sort of open gauge there.
He's opened up. It's about...
Geez, there's no chop. The water's flat and you've got 16 knots northeast. Perfect sailing conditions, especially for some of the crews that aren't used to racing together in chop. This is your classic 49 a day, all that sort of stuff.
It's interesting, isn't it? The 49er coaches are teaching them not to stand too close together and operate independently. In this class, we're going compress everybody.
I think that's important, especially around the top mark when they're trying to bear away and get the boats downwind. You need everyone at the back of the bus and just wait for your precious moment.
So Woody enjoying the benefits of Josh Perepsky and Fang Warren, that's for sure. Two big, athletic and highly skilled crewmen.
Woody's going to definitely have the weight advantage today, I think. They've probably lost, 5 kilos or so on the Andu today without Sebi, so significant.
Well, I mean, Jimmy, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think Woody in his entire career ever had a heavy crew weight until now.
No, he really hasn't. Like, it's, well, not young and athletic, that's for sure, you know. Berger's back into it. This is his first sale back in an 18. He's sailing on the Burrowing, so we'll wait and see how that shapes up. But, yeah, two young bulls that are probably barking really strong instructions to him. I think it's a good thing for him. There's the young guys on the Royal Oak on the screen at the moment.
They've been consistently good this season as well. If you look at the point scores, Royal Oak 4 Pines.
Yep, they're
Started the season a little shaky, although they did win that first race. Is that right?
On handicap, indeed.
yep,
The three boys.
love them.
Yeah.
You would have loved them back in the day, Cubby.
Nah, it's not my favourite format. But yeah, so
again across there, Yandu and Andu. Yandu pretty comfortable.
so we've passed sale registration day now, haven't we? So all the boats have got their championship sales. All right.
There's the Ilvay with no sale signage and Birkenhead Point Marina, and poor boys on Rag and Famish just had to tack to avoid a powerboat. It's a bit unfortunate.
As Shippo would say, they got a bit chicken winged up there.
Well, sorry, Ilvay is now known as Marine Outlet, hence no signage on their sales. So, new sponsor.
That's fantastic. The guys deserve that after their early showing this season. A couple of good races for one of the oldest boats. Yep.
Yeah, they've, motley little crew thrown together. They're all great sailors in their right mind. 12-foot skiff sailors again.
Yeah, river sailors from up at Lane Cove. So,
good.
yep. You can just see, Bucko, the breeze just dropped out slightly as we went.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting, but good pressure on the left edge, so we'll see. And certainly left-handed air, 2 cup looking up and down.
Yep.
So for the viewers, we're on the camera cat just sort of halfway towards the middle of the creek near the Western Channel pile. Got a good view of the fleet upwind of us, so easy to judge from the actions of the fleet what the wind's actually doing.
So this is where you got your maximum tide flow,
Yeah.
just through this section here.
That's right.
Runs out the harbour, goes sort of around Rose Bay, heads up to Middlehead, and so they're in maximum run-out tide here. So,
And the leaders all favouring hard left.
yeah.
And Andu, Yandu, etc. Sharon partners.
So Lazarus is still in there.
Yeah, no, they've been hanging in.
Yep. Big Cross, Yandu crosses Andu.
I think Sharon Partners there might have got himself into second.
We're about to find out, Jimmy, aren't we? If we stay on that shot.
So we've just had the Birkenhead Point Marina. They've stood out a little bit further to the right than most of the boats. So they're in a nice line out there, a little bit of clear air and less traffic.
There's a potential cross, but that was it.
That was it. So the Sharon partners looking pretty strong. Sean Connor on the main show, Tom Quigley in the bow, Jimmy Colley on the wood.
Yeah, well, there you go. You got the 49er combination right there.
Yep.
Of Cooley Connor.
Yeah. But they've looked pretty smooth and efficient thus far.
I'm seeing the Australian sailing team out a lot during the week, sailing out of Middle Harbour and doing their training on the harbour, and Sean Colley's part of that program.
Yep.
So these guys are sailing 4 or 5 days a week at a top level.
Yeah, full-time job at a top level. Good.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. Our times have changed in big pre-2000. It basically wasn't really a thing for them.
So just looking at Yandu at the moment, just above Lazarus here on the screen. If he lays this Beetle boy, he's going to have a nice lead.
Well, I think he is laying come.
Yeah.
So that string of boats, Yandu, Shaw and Andu, look like they're all laying. We don't have precision on that, but
Flat fast and 30 seconds in front.
yeah.
Good work. And the boat just looks comfortable as it's going through the water as well. Like, there's a lot to be said. All right, so Yandu's easily laid the Beetle boy for the first time. He's going to be our leader.
That tells you about the left-hand air and about the ebb flow, Cub, doesn't it?
That's right. He's actually overstood it.
That's
maybe
right.
20 metres.
They've
So,
overstood
yeah.
from the inside of George's head.
So reaching into the first mark.
But, Cub, as you know, a little overstand's a good thing, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
And here we go.
Shaw and Partners coming in in second position. Hotly contested with the Andu.
So good effort there. Nice accuracy from Shaw and Partners to grab second off Andu.
Yep.
Andu a little bit complacent, perhaps. So
Here we
just
go. Let's just watch them bear away around that top mark.
Not a problem, Cup. Just what it looks like, 20 seconds and just about a further 10 to Andu.
Spinnaker set on the Yandu. Andu coming around now.
Oh, nice set on the Shaw and Partners.
Cracker, wasn't it?
Wow.
It was pretty hot.
Yeah.
There we go, the Andu.
Next around is Lazarus.
Here comes the burrowing. Let's see how Berger goes.
Look at the young bloke go. He was in there with his Zimmer frame, wasn't he?
Not quite that bad, Jimmy. Balmain Slake just dropped back a little. Ilve coming in, or
No.
what was their new sponsor, Jimmy?
Marine Outlet.
Marine Outlet, apologies.
Marine Outlet. We'll get it right.
Marine Outlet, yep.
In the shot here, a cruising.
And here comes the
Cruising boat in the way a
Birkenhead
bit.
Point Marina. Boys,
The Rag and Famish, which would have a first work that they'd sooner forget. Next around.
let's have a look at the set slot. Okay, here we go. Rag and Famish, round and set. The whole fleet's not too
very
far
messy
apart. Yeah.
So Fisher and Pike in 10th by my count. And where did the Smeek get to?
Oh, close in front. Oh. Uncharacteristic of the windward set on the 18-footers cafe, bar and restaurant there. That's going to be a bit slow.
Yeah, when we had Sean on here the other week, he was explaining how they find it a preferable set, which I found quite funny.
Okay. Well, there you go.
It was an interesting explanation, Cup.
Not so bad if the spinnaker's brand new and the cloth's all nice and fresh, but wouldn't be my ultimate thing to do every time.
No.
I've been noticing, Bucko, the spinnakers, the new spinnakers, have been quite, I don't know, what would you call it, the seams seem quite rough. You got any theories about that?
Well, there are a few things at play. You know, they're trying to make the heads flatter and more twisted.
Yeah.
But equally, they're glued seam spinakers. And so the inherent little flaws in the glue up don't disappear because the sewing is under there to stop the glue breaking. And the sails are fully held together to near the end of their life with the original sticker.
Right.
Whereas if you had an old-fashioned sail, what we call a French seam with no glue in it, then the seam subtly adjusts itself to get rid of any of the hard spots.
Yeah, they just sort of settle in after a race or two.
Exactly, and a few flaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
the,
tight runs alongside Shark Island. Yeah.
so the glued seam partly to blame, but equally the mould choke's making it more critical.
Here goes the Rag for a jibe.
Just on board here with the Rag. Nice jibe. Bowman through out on the trapeze, main sheet. Handing him the new sheet.
Andu round to the right from that shot.
Andu's just had
Very uncharacteristic.
an average job on the Andu. Look,
I think that 12 they might not have seen the
No,
12
they-
behind the Spinnaker might have been the problem. But
I think their action was to avoid the 12.
so we got Andu on the screen. See Balmain Slake as well, but it looks like Shore and Partners is pushing for a lead here. He's jibed slightly earlier than Yandu, and it looks a little tightish at the moment, so he's just doing it a little bit easier for Shore and Partners. Do you think it's going to go a little bit shallower along the island here, Bucko? Or do you think it's going to square up?
I think it's going to square up.
Just breeze going to fade a little.
Yeah, on the edge of the strongest wind now.
Okay, well, on screen, you've got the 1, 2 and 3. For my liking, Shore and Partners is the leader.
tell you, it's quick downhill is that Andu. It's lit up downhill.
Yeah, that's a pretty good shoot. That one they got there.
The North's shooting, you say it's good.
Yeah,
You've changed.
It's been worked on. Don't worry.
It's not your normal shoot, that one.
No.
Anyway, we digress.
So they're in not much breathe now. So Shore and Partners now in VMG run mode, and Andu with a little more pressure on the leeward edge.
Just looking out our left side, it's very light here. The crews
Yep, exactly.
are going to go through a little lighter spot before they get to the
That could be costly.
Velocity header for the Shore and Partners. Snakes and ladders, but Andu, marginally in front in theory and in reality right now.
We've actually got a couple of bullets coming over our left-hand side here. So, all right, let's see how they go. I think they're going to get to the mark, but there's a big gust coming from the left. Andu closing the gap.
So the last yard header puff. Is that what's happening here, Cup? So Shore and Partners got back over his wind. Okay.
And here comes the breeze. So let's see how they all get out of this.
And they can't jibe and hurry because there's no wind behind the
Andu's
island.
struggling to get to the mark at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're comfy there, Cup. The body language.
Body
on
language
Sammy-
is good.
On Sammy Newton always is easy to read.
Never seen Sammy get tense about anything.
No, he's one of the most calmest blokes I've seen.
Just wow.
Here comes the...
I think it was only last week I saw Sammy trying to drop the chute along the island there, and next minute the call was get out on the wing, and he's just reached out with a handful of chute in his hand, and it was just good stuff.
The old Trent Barnabas sort of days.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
All right, Lazarus around in 4th, Balmain Slake 5th. The chasing packs Burrawong and Rag and Famish. He's picked up a couple. Absolutely. Right, slight difference in approach to the bottom up now, Bucko. Andu went right in to Point Piper. The other two, Yandu and Shore and Partners, just a little jibe for jibe. They're a little bit higher.
Yeah, I think that's going to Andu there. The leeward edge will pay usually in this kind of configuration of the breeze.
And Lazarus that's on the screen there, they jibe right at the, just about right at the YA mark. Everyone else has gone, 200-300 metres past it.
He's got one man in the boat as well, so he's paying the price for that, probably.
Yeah.
Well, they've all had to transition to some degree through the lee of the island, but let's transition the further you are away where Andu's gone.
Yeah, well, you want to be as far away from the island as possible for that, right?
Yep.
So at the moment, Andu looks like they've got 3 on trapeze, running low. We've got Shore and Partners and Yandu, sort of 2.5 on trapeze and sailing a little higher.
Yeah, in VMG mode, really, both those boats. See what happens, but
I don't think I've seen Woody out on the end of the trapeze that many times this year.
No. The boys are encouraging it.
A little bit of encouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there a fair bit this season, Cubby.
Yeah. Great shot of the Yandu with the drone there on screen. We've really been getting some amazing pictures back to the screen, like the drone has just been fantastic this year. I feel like you're almost on board.
Yeah, we can arrange you as a guest skipper on board in 18 if you like, Cubby.
Look at that, you can see every movement on the helm by John Winning there. I suppose in the back of their minds they're starting to think about dropping that spinnaker, so a lot of preparations starting to fall into place.
Well, they've got a little awkward two giant problem here, Cup.
Yeah, well that's another thing they've got to work out. Will they make it in one? Do they need to do two jives? Is it a jive drop?
No, two giants, Cup.
Yeah, two jives for sure. Now Yandu's still maintaining the lead there. That lower run along Point Piper hasn't helped Yandu that much, unfortunately.
Oh, you're back in striking distance, though, Cup.
Yeah. Yandu's jived. Got to run down to the bottom mark and do a jive.
So he's
spinnaker drop.
He's set up for a jive drop, looking at that.
Yeah, very good.
And some fresh stuff coming, but not all that windy at the mark itself. Breeze lifting off a little here. But that'd be a conservative jive drop, wouldn't it, Cup?
Yeah, very. For those guys, let's watch them get it down.
Yeah.
Forward end's in, pulling the foot of the spinnaker in. Sheet end's looking for the halyard.
And all good, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Pretty good.
She's in the bag.
So,
and
okay.
they can get
Tough
the
one for sure and partners.
Oh,
Put the pressure right on the forward end there.
Absolutely. But
up to it. He's up to the task.
good work.
And do struggling just a bit.
So a funny little zone of about 100 metres of not much pressure before they get back into 14, 15 knots of wind, a little further across in the middle of the channel.
So we can throw the blanket over the top three there.
Yeah, so...
Yandu Shore partners Andu in fourth spot, Balmain. Balmain Slate.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest mover and shaker on that run has been the Rag and Famish, Harry Price.
In distance time, they've closed up, haven't they, significantly?
Yeah. They're within striking distance now.
Yep.
A little bit of trouble with Lazarus getting the spinnaker down. Who's the peloton just arriving now? It's been some winners and losers. I think the Birkenhead Point, it's dropped back a couple of spots.
So did the burrowing that's just gone around, and
Just gone around now. Yep.
then Marine Outlet just rounding now. They're sort of holding steady. And then you next to come around are going to be the Kitchen Maker and Smeg, who were staying motherless after
Yes.
individual recall.
So they've snuck back in quite well. They're only about a minute and a half behind the leaders after having to return to the start line. So
Yeah, so they did the run down to the bottom here pretty neatly.
The Royal Oak, 4 Pines with a bit on just to the right of screen there.
So the top 10 at the bottom, Yandu, Shaw, Andu, Balmain, Lazarus, Rag, Burrowang, Marine Outlet, Kitchen Maker and Smeg. And the effort from Smeg to get to that is pretty serious. And they now they're only about a minute in arrears of on the podium, as it were.
yeah, no, he's been looking quite good with his number 2 rig.
Yep.
Seems to enjoy slightly lighter number 2 rig.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there, Cup. Particularly, he's you know, as you'd appreciate, they've won plenty of championships, but his performance in strongwind was sometimes a bit wonky. You know, he could win by a long way 2 days, and then the next day he's on the riding lever or something. You know, so
If you said to me Smeg and Cocker, I would have said heavy weather specialist.
Exactly.
But
Maybe not quite so much.
maybe he's an all-rounder.
Yeah.
All right, we're on our second work to the Booster Boy now. So this leg of the course, straight up to the Booster Boy, and a direct run back from the Booster Boy to the bottom mark.
Yeah. Big long beat, big long VMG run. And I would.
And do with an early step out there, Cubby, not taking it all the way over to Bradley's.
Look, if you're a chaser, I think you can get, as Shippo would say, chicken winged up under Bradley's there for sure. Like if you don't judge, there's a few Lee sort of shore over there. If you think you can go a little bit further and then you don't, you run out of breeze, drag the boat back into windward.
It's definitely a game of nerves, isn't it?
Yeah. Snakes and ladders, this one.
So Lazarus, as you can see on screen, you just see where the water's just a little bit lighter. That's where the breeze runs out, just in front of them. So, see them probably set up to tack any time here. And there they go. Not one of their best, but it's the Burrowing Hotel Young Henry's on the march.
And see where the Ragged Famish bailed out Jimmy early, nice and early.
Yeah,
conservative.
But you got a fast ferry, which is which is just about in shot now.
To avoid
that's where they were sort of teetering with.
To avoid the Bermuda Triangle and a fast ferry and a fairly large white pleasure vessel.
Well, it's a big factor on Sydney Harbour, all the pleasure craft. Like
Did you get your invite to the Vagabond Cruises Christmas party, Bucko?
It's probably still in the mail.
Oh, the 12-footer, just trying to avoid Balmain Slake and Nandu, and plenty on.com for the little 12-footer.
For the viewers, 12-footer title on at the moment, and the 12-footer having a thumping right here. Wow, great stuff. Anyway, we're travelling with Balmain Slate, just coming off the headland of Bradley's Head, and they're in 4th or 5th place.
Something going on the Balmain Slake on the mainsail, Bucko. Is that just loose signage or
it looks like loose signage.
No, it's just the signage coming off.
Okay.
See how quick they're going, mate. The signage is coming off.
That's right.
We've got to upgrade to the Boeing signage so it sticks better.
Yeah. So, looking at this breeze here now, Yandu crossing here in front of Yandu. Bumpy water, 16, 17, Cubby, yeah? 16 effectively.
Just a little bit harder than the first work.
Yeah.
So
just inversion in the head of the Yandu mainsail there.
Building up to the
partners just tacking to come back with
crescendo on the last work, a bit fresher.
Good to see what the cross distance is here with Yandu coming at them.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
So Woody, Fang and Josh seem to have just settled down a little and opened their lead up again, just a little bit.
Well, the most accurate boat on the course thus far has been Shore and Partners.
Okay.
In terms of ley lines and tacking accurately and jibe angles and so forth. And you can see that Shore and Partners, basically nose to tail with Yandu at the bottom, lead them by 5 boat lengths. But here we go, we're travelling with a race leader. Camera cat just to leeward of Yandu.
One of the things I find amazing, just looking on board the boat, you look at the crew, how low they're swinging. Like, we just never did that in the old days. The athleticism of these guys is amazing.
Well, Cubby, didn't Xerox did have flip-flop wings, didn't it?
Well, that was part of it in the early days.
You did that on the Xerox, mate. You folded.
The wings just tipped up. We've all been through that.
Watching them through the tack here, it's not their best.
But it's just another level of thought when you're you're working your sails.
Yeah, but I mean that belief here, Cubby, the low trapeze stance comes from the 49er coaches again, Windward heat, low, get your
Here we
shoulder.
go. There's a bit of a cross coming up between Shore and Partners and Yandu.
And not much in it, mate.
Look Look at that, the picture's just saying everything. A beautiful Sydney blue sky.
Yeah.
16, 18 knots northeast, run out tide.
16. So, Short Partner's about 4 boat lengths behind, so Maidi, less than 20 seconds.
So that's only one bad tack.
Yeah.
If someone gets caught in a tack, which is not uncommon, they don't get it cleanly across the boat. A little bit of ease in the jib in the Shore Partners there. Tack forward end straight out on the wide, followed by the main sheet, and then quickly by the skipper.
And that's a better tack than the tack we saw
not
from
too bad of a tack, really, was it?
Right, exactly.
No,
The Yandu came out still up inside the jib when they fell out, and so...
If you could pull that off every time, you'd be happy.
Yeah, no, I think that's right, Cub, isn't it?
We do on the camera cap, mate.
Of course,
every tack,
yeah.
we're perfect.
Never make a mistake. Shippo who?
So the Balmain slate hanging in there pretty good.
Yeah, cool. So they'll be happy with this performance, but it's always hard launching a new boat and trying to get everything
there we go.
exactly right.
Just interesting to note, on the bow of Balmain being a new boat, the jib isn't sheeted to the outboard position like everyone else is.
Jimmy tacked.
The tack, yeah.
Yeah, and they come out of that tack banged in and did it perfectly, Cub.
I'm just wondering if they're restricted by sales
yeah,
this
possibly.
year, and maybe just
Be a next year thing.
that little jib wasn't in the repertoire this time round.
Yeah.
I still think, though, like we were talking about it before we came on air, the skiffs this season so far have managed to avoid that 25 gnarly, gusty breeze. So we haven't had a real fresh day yet.
No, I mean...
We did have one, but it was called off, so...
It was too windy.
Yeah.
And it was clearly too windy.
Too
Yeah.
windy.
Well, with the 2-rig setup covered,
I know.
irregardless, and it was 35 in the puff, so...
Fair enough.
So the I'm sorry, Jimmy, the Balmain slate also lighter crew weight, so...
All right, this is getting interesting now. I've got Shore Partners making a little stab at the lead here, I think.
Oh, Yandu's gone the right way there, up to the headland. Nothing much should have changed. We'll see. Usually the left-hand boat gains up this end of the beat, Cub, as you know.
Oh, look.
But Shore Partners might just be a little more accurate and a little bit faster, so...
It's certainly tight at the top.
Yeah.
There's not much in this cross now, Bucko.
No.
So Yandu's not going to lay the Beecher Boy this time from where he is. He's still got a few more
remember the last beat they laid from hard up against the shoreline of George's Head.
If Shore Partners can get this right, there might be advantage Shore Partners.
No, but he can't lay from there either.
All right, well, we could have money on this one.
Come on the rarest of northeast days, you can lay from the white light, right? You remember?
Let's see.
Let's see. Even irregardless of the ebb.
Nah, you're probably right. The old sea dog, Bucko.
Yeah.
It's one of your newer workboats there, Cubby, just in the background of,
Yes.
of the shot.
The mighty Gen 2 Clontarf.
Yeah.
Okay, so Endu's just sneaking through again. He's our number 3 at the moment.
Yeah. Shore Partners will be well advised to come back and have another stab at the headland, in my view.
Ideally, tack underneath Yandu, I'd say, and come back to the shore.
Well, depends where you think the ley line is, Cub, doesn't it? Shore Partners now, when he tacks, will lay above George's Head, I think. If he stands onto the other side of Yandu. Anyway, here we are with Andu, attacking early, relatively speaking.
Nice tack, nice and flat.
Here's Yandu in the background, our leader.
He's doing it comfortable at the moment. Like last week, we saw Yandu with a similar lead and Andu chasing and actually getting to him a little earlier than this in last week's race. So
Travelling with Andu, and you can see the boat just absolutely marching, the water flattish. Yeah. And you can see the composure of the guys, incredible. And the boat.
There you go, a little wave from moving.
Not deviating. It's fantastic.
So the life's very comfortable on board there.
It requires very accurate steering and high-grade sail trim.
I was just watching the main sheet trim on the Andu there. It's hardly moving. There's perfect control.
Exactly. Yeah. Moving about 1 foot.
Yeah.
Well, that means the rig's in good shape, Cut. So let's look at that.
Means it's working.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's on the ley line, I think, and you can see he's 2/3 the way to the flat end of the spectrum there.
Oh.
Joshy just doing a bit more work on it there.
He might have overlaid the Andu.
That
substantially.
Won't hurt him one bit, Cup. Ripping amount of breeze up the top here. I think he's pretty good.
In the old days, we would have called this coming in hot.
Yeah, he's within the boundary of the current, I would say. So by that I mean, if the tide was flood, he wouldn't be laying.
And there's the mark in the just below his mainsail.
So remember, Cub, it's a slow progressive header. And the setup a little flatter than Andu overall. The trapeze position of the skipper quite different though.
God, Woody's doing pretty well for my like. I'd like to still be able to do it.
Yeah, and a big fast ferry crossing him.
A little bit of a lee from the fast ferry as well.
Spinnaker nearly came out of the bag. There, is it?
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah, Joshy back in, sticking
What's he doing?
It looks like there's...
Yeah, no, Jimmy, your first instinct was correct. The wave, I think, picked it up out of the bag to some degree.
He might have had the spinnaker sheet over the side, and that started to drag it out.
Could have.
Yeah.
Goes Jono past on the wingding.
So there's the cross, and Yandu now inverted in the puffs almost completely, and a bad tack from the shore partners. So the first time we've seen them, execution letting him down a bit.
Not a fast tack, Bucko, but it wasn't the worst. The boat stayed flat. It just wasn't fast.
But there was plenty of room for improvement.
Oh, yeah. Floridan was waiting for the rest of the crew, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so...
All right, Andu coming in from the right.
Wow, so Andu's caught back up to shore partners pretty neatly.
Yeah, it's close. Shore and partners setting up for the bear away. The Andu's around, Spinnaker's up.
Sensational tack.
Shore and partners number 2.
Andu.
They had the great Spinnaker set that the first time round. Now another good set. Andu right on their hammer.
Yeah, you'd say the Spinnaker sets are...
Oh, the old jibe set for the Andu.
Polished.
Yeah.
Herman enjoying this, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow. Hello. What's going on there? Retriever line's got a bit messed up.
It's round the top spreader. Was round the top spreader.
Oh, send it,
They're going to
boys.
come out okay.
Yeah, that's great. Rescue.
I think their halyard was just round the top spreader. Need that little flick before they started pulling it up.
Balmain Slate next around. It's got some waves here off the ferry to deal with.
Yeah, pretty cruisy. All good.
Pretty cruisy. Not that sharp. Could have been a bit tighter.
Yeah,
Burrowing.
I think though, for the Balmain Slate boys, if they can finish this race about where they are.
Balmain.
Yeah.
They had a couple of wobbles coming uphill. Bucko, I was watching them.
Okay.
They took on the Western Channel light.
Yep.
Just a
That's
little bit
never
slow
advisable.
on shooting it in.
Got called starboard by the light.
Lazarus and Rag and Famish round the mark now. Nice bear away from the Rag and Famish. Jive and set by the Rag and Famish.
Yeah, they're prepared to take the odds to it.
Marine Element Cam Gundy and his crew coming in next.
Yeah, Cup, I think for the Balmain Slate, if they could finish fourth or something, that would be a good day out.
Especially with the new boat.
Yeah, and
you'd be happy with that.
they would know, though, that their execution has to improve.
Yeah.
Look who's just about to come into shot here is the Smeg,
Yeah. Gained another
picking them off.
place there, I'd say.
Yeah.
Great shot of the Rag and Famish on screen.
There's our leaders on screen, not far off the jibe. Taylor, so normally try and hit Bradley's right on the nose, don't you? Is the secret. The breeze just a little bit more east than normal.
Well, on the downhill run too, Jimmy, they're trying to get out of the tide.
Yeah.
So if they get the closer into the shore, they'll be out of the tide. Just a slight advantage. Probably 3 knots of tide running out. So it's worth 2, a little bit less. It's starting to get to the bottom of the tide, I suppose.
Yeah. Running less than 2.
It's quite significant, you know, on the Manly Ferry when we're making a run up this channel. I can watch the speed go up and down just because of the tide. It's like we don't.
You notice that much on the old double
On the,
ended Manly ferries?
on the GPS, yeah.
Wow.
Can be up to 3 knots.
And just to remind the viewers, the Cup, his real day job is driving a largish displacement ferry boat. Mostly mounted in circular key, Cup, right?
Yeah.
He's available there all week for autographs.
Come for a ride, but. Okay, Andu making it. Jiving back.
Yeah, so the boats all trying to gain from the compression of the headland and trying to think a little bit about the setup for the jibe into the bottom. But a little bit bumpy water here too, so too many jibes, not the right answer either.
No, but it's aggressive sailing when you're in 3rd place and trying to get into the lead.
Yeah.
You've got to have a bit of a go, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Which is what we're seeing now Andu do, an extra.
Little J24.
Oh.
Yes.
J24 in the way.
Right.
Lovely day for it.
Just enjoying the afternoon more than anything. Probably a misjudge there by the Andu guys. They didn't need to do that.
Very uncharacteristic. There's the chasing 4th.
Yeah.
Balmain Slate, not too far behind Andu, but almost getting to the point of impossible.
Jibe on board Balmain Slate.
All right, Jimmy, here's a trick question. Where will the Smeg end up? No, I think 9th or 8th at the top mark.
I reckon 6th.
Well, they're in 7th spot now.
That's what I mean, Cubby.
Yeah, maybe
Top how's this for a better option?
Yeah.
Top 10.
No, I asked you for an
Hedging your
accurate
bets.
prediction.
That is an accurate prediction for me.
So, Cubby, let's have a look at the spinnaker on the Andu here. Lovely
yeah.
looking sail, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if it's the colour that's making the difference. Okay.
No, it's the entry depth and the head twist.
So we can see it, I'm not sure if the viewers can see it, but there's 2 slightly different colours in that spinnaker.
Yeah.
Walk us through that, Bucko. Different cloth.
Oh, they've done a bit of a rebuild, I think. But we're travelling anyway with the Balmain, so
Rocketing downhill.
rocketing downhill. And the orange colours are just awesome.
Definitely stands out.
Great pictures.
Doesn't take much for the boats to get airborne. Great shot of Balmain, yeah. Rock and roll. There's Endu Spinnaker there now, Bucko, with the, yep. Slightly different mainsail profile on the Endu too.
Yeah, no, the latest.
Yeah, the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's only about 100 metres off the bottom mark for the second time. Endu out to the left. Yandu still seems to be in control.
Yeah, but Churrup Partner's got a slightly more efficient approach, I think, Cup. They'll be close in the corner by the time they get the chutes off.
Yandu's still going to do another jibe.
That's right.
There's no margin for error here.
There is no margin. Here we go. Look at this.
Right on. Yandu gets his jibe.
And Churrup Partner's opts to go on the
That's
high
tight,
side.
Right. Okay, so it's not a...
Copulator.
Yandu stopped in the lee of
Yeah.
Shore Partners then. Shore Partners set up nicely for the jibe drop.
Yep. So here's where the accuracy comes into play.
Yeah.
They can do a jibe drop. They've got the perfect amount of room.
Oh, he's dropped the Spinnakers.
Today's sponsor,
Here we go.
Yep.
Shore and Partners.
Today's and
Earl will be mighty happy.
not
what he's
completely
seen.
tidy. There was a little
Oh, here we go. Yandu on the inside.
Yandu taking a big risk
Oh.
there. Both boats in a bit of bother. Shore Partners.
Were they overlapped?
Well, they're not going to have an argument about buoy room at this point, Cup. We're going to have a drag race to Bradley's Head instead.
Okay. Shore and Partners struggling in getting the chute down, and Andu just tidy behind them.
And this may play into Andu's hands with Shore and Partners and Yandu so close together that they get in a...
Shore and Partners still struggling getting the Spinnaker away. There must be a knot in the halyard.
Well, the halyard retrieval system gets jammed up. They've got a halyard retrieval system. It doesn't always work. Oh dear. So we can say Yandu back in front. Shore and Partners clearly able to challenge though, Cup.
Yeah, and Andu closing the gap.
Very clean rounding.
Nice and
It's the
clean.
Balmain.
Here's the Balmain, more conservative, which is not inappropriate.
You've got to be happy with that new boat, don't they, Bucko?
Oh, absolutely. For the young blokes in new boat, a good day out.
The Burrowang Hotel, Young Henry's in the background.
Hanging in there, but they look like they're dropping the chute early.
Yeah, Berger's got to pack the pole away, mate.
Break the stump off it. Okay, so we've got Yandu lead, Shore and Partners second, Andu chasing, Balmain in fourth, Lazarus pushing for fifth, but will Burrowing get in front of him? Do you think? Oh, it's
I think they're overlapped there, Cubby.
yeah. So Lazarus fifth, Burrowing sixth, Rag and Famish seven.
Smeg 8.
Smeg 8. We're looking for 6 for Smeg, are we?
Said top 10. I'm sticking with it.
Oh, you can't change your mind, mate.
That is my mind.
Okay. All right, let's see.
They were in the top 10 when he made the prediction, Cup.
Oh,
Crystal ball's back from the shop. It's working fine.
Yeah. I thought they might get in front of Lazarus more or less, but there you go.
Mate, Marcus is sailing that boat very well this season.
You
So
know, so Marcus with Harry and Geronimo in about a day, they're pretty reasonably
All right.
solid.
Smeg round now. Little
commentator's curse is
Three
full
sail.
play here.
3 sails to windward.
So we haven't seen the best exhibition here, have we, Cub, of precision?
I know. And there we have the Birkenhead Point Marina coming into the bottom mark.
Well, we better hang around and watch your son, Cub.
Especially with the Sid Barnett Memorial Trophy up for grabs.
That's right.
All right, they've left themselves plenty of time to get that down as well.
Yeah, cruising into the mark. Cruising in. Royal Oak coming in hot behind him, exactly.
Yeah, he's probably he's gone too far before his jibe. So anyway,
That's twice for them down here, the Royal Oak, unfortunately.
He's having trouble getting the chute
Picking the lays.
operate. Oh well.
Nice
All right.
clean rounding on the Birkenhead Point Marina.
Had enough time to make a cup of tea as well as get the chute off.
two schooners.
Two schooners.
Being boys from the Palace, I think it'd be schooners, mate.
No tea. No Earl Grey.
Not after 4. All right, just the Royal Oak.
There's the leaders on the screen.
So Yandu still holding a slender lead, Bucko.
Yeah, but
I might have Yandu for the top 3.
yeah, I'd be putting my money on Shaw and Partners at this point to win the race.
There's Fisher and
Very
Piper
high
coming
ball.
into the bottom mark.
Bringing up the back of the peloton. Only a couple of boats behind them.
Was it last week's race? Yandu got sort of becalmed a little bit off Point Piper, and Smeg was the chaser.
Yep.
Like anything can happen in skiff racing.
Yep.
One bad mistake, you know, and you've capsized next minute. So, it's not over yet. It's a long way from the finish. So we've got a capsized boat over here on our right-hand side. Is that one? Is that Marine Outlet?
Yeah, Marine
Jimmy?
Outlet. It is indeed.
Absolutely. so Cubby looking upwind now with the combination of the ebb tide, the powerboat wash, and a little bit of build. Your eyeballs are telling you how much wind.
Oh, well, I'm hoping we got to 20, but it's only 18.
Good enough.
And like this was your sort of traditional breeze too. By the time you did the last work to the Beetle Boy, a little bit fresher. But everyone's in sync, they're all in tune now, so that it's not bothering the crews. They're not realising that the breeze has lifted a little.
I tell you what, guys, not on screen, but Yandu is back in front of Shaw and Partners.
The Shaw and Partners had a problem in the attack at Bradley's Head.
Yep. Just making our way over that way.
And the pressure is up.
I think I'm going for an Yandu win. That's a safe bet, isn't it?
There ain't any safe bets in this amount of bump cup. Are there? You know, look at the...
It's definitely got a... The seaway's up a little.
Yeah, and Yandu just there with a full mainline version for a second. So, and you can see the pictures here now. Yandu and Shaw and Partners, bit of spray flying, which is usually a good sign for wind speed, isn't it, Cub? God, they bloody bouncing through it there. Plenty more traffic coming down from the Manly end too, Cub, isn't it?
Yeah. Bit of a charter boat just in front of us here.
Yeah. The complaints from the drone pilots. What's going on?
Yeah, a bit rough.
But these guys, Yandu, oh no, Shaw and Partners tacking back now. Okay, good tack too.
All right.
For the water roughness and the wind speed.
So covering tack by Yandu.
Yep.
So Yandu back into second spot.
Wow, it's a bumpy water here, Jimmy.
It's lovely, mate. The mighty kumquats have all been through.
Lucky Shippo's not here, be giving it to all these charter boats and all that.
I think after he finishes racing today, he's off to their annual Christmas party for the charter boats.
Have a look at this, girls and boys. Yandu pressing hard forward over Shaw and Partners and escaped from the incoming ferry just about to come in the screen, and a couple of other recalcitrant charter vessels, Jimmy.
I think there's could be a slight bit of nudity on that one, but anyway, let's carry on.
Here we go.
Oh, a bit rough.
All right.
Right, okay, let's
Game back on, boys. We're here.
concentrate.
So
Yandu leads.
Yandu leads. Shaw and Partners in a sort of high slow mode here, squeezing up around the back of Andu. Very close race now at this stage of the racetrack.
I don't think it was this rough off shore the other day.
No.
So I think we've got the top three boats within 20 seconds of each other here.
Yeah.
Followed closely by Balmain.
And Balmain appears to have made up a little time there. The other boat's playing ducks and drakes to some degree here, Cub.
So maybe Andu just trying to sail the flatter water, fresher breeze in close.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to cross, the powerboat's coming back from Manly.
Yeah.
They don't want to cross that lake zone twice. Well, even though they may do so.
What, for each charter boat?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're short up the left-hand side, you're in smoother water all day. And if you've got any waves coming from the powerboats, they're mostly on one side, the blue side.
Clinical from the Andu at the moment. Their tacks, they're executing perfectly. The boat is flat and fast.
There's 1, 2 and 3. How will they end up?
I'll tell you what's going to be close is the next cross between Andu and Yandu.
And that cross will nearly depend entirely on how good Yandu's tack is.
Yeah. Well, it's got us on the edge of our seats, Bucko. I hope everyone at home watching is seeing the same picture.
No, we're more than an hour in, we're about 1 hour in actually after the general recall. So we're an hour into the race and the top three boats are separated by, in total, less than a minute.
It's good racing.
Interesting that they're all crossing to the eastern channel here.
Well, they got in averse on the big powerboat washes, Jimmy, after they got bashed before, probably. That could be one good reason.
Obviously, 4 o'clock drop-offs are done.
Yeah, breeze a fair way in the left here, though. Where we are, we're on the windward edge of the fleet.
Almost at the bottom of the tide.
So the tide's not as big an influence on the boats at the moment, so they can stretch out a bit and cut the tacks down. They're going to save seconds.
So Yandu over there.
All right, so Andu coming back towards us on the right. Yandu out in the distance. He's failed to cover. He's
Cardinal rule.
Cardinal rule. Let's see what happens. The Yandu has definitely let the Andu pick which way they want to go to the top.
You'll see Yandu in the background there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but probably Cubby. Yandu had to go far enough also to avoid a couple of other obstacles.
Yeah, still, we all have thought at some stage, let's just go a bit further.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that, mate. No.
So what's your podium from here?
Yandu, I think, is still easily in front.
Yeah, I think Bucker's probably right too. He's bow up at the moment, Yandu, and Andu seems a bit bow down. So tide not really influencing the race at the moment.
Yeah, and I think Shaw and Partners, barring accidents, is too far behind now. They're at 40 seconds adrift of Yandu. They've been very good, but one bad tack at Bradley's.
When the racing's this good, that's all it takes.
That's right. Yeah, and for people watching, tacking these boats is a well choreographed manoeuvre, and a lot of things that can go wrong.
Well, the other thing too, the boom's getting lower and lower and lower. Well, I think we'd struggle to get under the boom in these days.
Yeah. Just saw a very good tack there from Andu. But in smooth water here now on the left edge, Cub.
I think Andu may have extended just a little bucket.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. So, and now he's got he knows Andu's underlaid by a significant amount. So now Yandu can go to the lay line and do 2 less tacks. And that should be able to win him the race, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Andu's already done one more tack than the Yandu up this work, so yeah.
So he might estimate the tack loss at about 5 seconds, so 2 extra. Not insignificant.
No. Yandu getting very close to the lay line there for the top mark.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Shaw and Partners went further to the right, almost to the eastern side of the harbour, and he's not looking too bad from the distance.
He might have pulled a blinder out of their cup.
Maybe.
Reed's gone back to the right a little.
Although he's not going to get near Andu, but he's going to be a lot. Maybe grab his spot back on Andu.
He's certainly close on Andu.
Yeah, definitely. And on the starboard tack as well.
Andu again got chicken winged up on the
Western Channel pile.
Yeah.
Here's the cross now between.
Oh no, Andu's across him. But not by very much anymore.
No, it's close.
Oh, it's still 5 boat lengths. So I don't think the race for first. There's now a race for second and third.
Yeah, well, the last third of this work to the top mark for the last time, Yandu seems to have stepped out a little. We're assuming he's on the lay line now, Bucko, do you think?
Be close. Be very close.
Yeah, I'd say he's there. Body language says we're there, Cup. Yeah, they're pressing on the jib. No signs of any, let's deepen her up a bit.
No, they're just concentrating, absolutely concentrating.
Exactly. Joshy just getting a few things done there now.
Starting to prepare for the mark rounding.
Yeah.
All right, the last bear away around the top marks.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong, yeah. Always a nervous time in an 18-foot skiff, just trying to get your approach right for the top mark.
Jib's out of the cleat, V's off a bit.
Yeah, crew starting to get in the boat a little bit. Woody's in already. He's prepped. Here we go, and a little bit light here for them to go around the top mark. Should be straight around.
So surprisingly light, actually, Cub.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Considering what's on the other edge.
And a windward set for the Andu. That's going to be just a little slow.
Hey, Cub.
Still a pretty good set.
What was wrong with that one, mate?
Well,
what did you see?
Maybe it's been doing it wrong for 100 years.
That's right.
All right, Andu just crossed in front of Shaw and Partners, literally by a spinnaker pole length.
And this is going to be the battle, isn't it?
This is Shaw and Partners going to lead them round the top mark.
Shaw and Partners done a good job there. A bit of accuracy there too, Cubbo.
Yep, spot on.
Spot on for the lay line.
Here we go. Let's see the bear away.
Herman been a bit
argy-bargy between the two crews.
No, they're fine. They're pleased. Let's see here. Nice on the Shaw and Partners.
Yeah. Pretty similar.
Oh, Shaw and Partners have had a collapse. Shaw and Partners has lost it there. Andu over the top of them.
Just run on. They're not settled, the Shaw and Partners.
No.
Look, just the dirty air from the Andu.
Andu got far enough
standard.
forward.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of two-sail reach with attached flow. Got advanced and then hoisted.
Yeah, you just slowed down and stopped the Shaw and Partners. So let's see, we've got Yandu, got a beautiful lead now, good 30 seconds. Andu, Shaw and Partners. Balmain Slake's round in 4th. We've got Lazarus 5th, Rag and Famish 6th. Burrawang 7,
Thank you.
Smeg 7, and Birkenhead Point Marina a little bit further back in 8. Fleet's well and truly spread out.
9th cup. 9.
9. 8 sounds better.
He does.
So shaping up for a little bit of a milk run to the finish by the looks of it.
No such thing.
No such thing, okay.
Wind's a little lighter on this edge, but plenty still down through the gap, and
The Yandu bow down.
Yeah, Woody's sitting in there.
Yeah. There she is on screen now.
and Short Partner's certainly no slower than Yandu downhill here. Not sure about the relative crew weight of the Short Partners, but
Yandu just about to jibe.
Here's the chasing pack. Balmain, Slate, Lazarus, the Rag and Famish, and the Burrawang Hotel. Burrawang having a day to remember for their campaign.
So there we got Yandu. He's even opened up that lead a little more, but I think Yandu.
he's going in
Here
the
they go
jibe
for a
now.
jibe.
See the marker in front of him.
Good point, Cubby. That's why we've got a catamaran, it goes straight through.
Righto, so Yandu's on his line to Shark Island mark. Do we still call it the totem pole?
Only the old timers come.
That's it.
If you're in the old boats, yeah.
Yeah.
New ones that except much over the totem pole, I don't think they know where to meet you.
So Yandu now in a comfortable second position.
But still, the gains and losses available in the last mile and a half of this race are considerable. On a wave by wave, puff by puff basis, things can go wrong.
Yeah. Nice bit of roll on that spinnaker for the Yandu, just trying to ease that bit of pressure and make sure they lay that next mark.
That's pretty full noise. That's a good 16 knot puff. He's in there.
He's about to come into a little bit of a light
And then
section.
it's a light section. Yep.
Yeah, look at how.
Yep. So the 18 there travelling a little bit faster than 20 knots, full noise.
Okay. There's a bit of a squall coming towards Yandu at the moment. He's going to get that right as they hit the mark, so stand by. He's either going to take off or take it down.
Oh, coming.
Here we go. They're about 3 seconds away from a big gust.
He's just going to get there.
Yeah, he's
Nicely done, Ben.
He's got it on a
There we
string,
go.
doesn't he?
Yeah. He's taken off.
A good bit of
There we
spur.
go.
And he'll go.
Even a little bit fresher to
Yeah.
behind him as well. So
He'll go most of the way to the corner here.
yeah.
Probably thinking about a jibe.
All right.
And he should jibe before that big powerboat wash, shouldn't he, Cup?
Yeah, be careful. Be wary of the powerboat wash.
Yeah.
Andu struggling to get in. Shaw and Partners has dropped the spinnaker in third position.
Wow.
Just a bit tight for them.
Yeah, no, they just overstood it.
And Andu's coming to the mark now, but Yandu's jibed and running to the finish already. So, all right. It's looking good for Woody and his crew.
Probably
Andu struggling on the mark.
2 more jibes.
Yeah, just
Very windy at the corner, Cup. Huh?
Yeah. Balmain's like hanging around in fourth position as well. Andu going for the jibe.
Early.
Might have just seen a little bit of breeze over his shoulder for that one, I think.
Yeah, no, he's in the middle of a good one.
Yeah.
Woody looks like he's laying the finish without another job.
Well, might not even make it.
No, he got the main sheet back on, Chubb. He was a little bit main sheet off to get round the bow of the moored yacht, as is Andu to some degree. A little lull coming over for Andu, so he'll be right. So Andu in the light spot right now.
They got plenty coming to see them in a second.
Yeah.
Plenty coming in.
Open the window, let the wind go.
Like sailing at Drummoyne Cubby.
Yeah.
Open windows.
Open the front doors of the palace.
Oh,
Well, the start line's set quite low, so you know, Yandu should lay that.
and a nice, have a look at this, guys. The Yandu about to hit a 1 metre high powerboat wash, going at 20 something knots.
So he's a little bit of shoot, get them through the waves.
Yep.
He's through the first lot, okay?
Yeah.
Where he had the problem last year was his second lot that he's coming up to now.
Well, you can see the drone sitting in the spinnaker there, looks just great footy. He's a couple of seconds away from the big victory.
There we go.
That's it.
Yandu gets the chocolates.
Big box.
Big box of chocolates for the mighty Yandu. John Winning, Fangwarren on the main sheet, Josh Perevsky in the bow. A terrific effort. Close to error-free and fought off a couple of determined challenges from Andu and Shaw and Partners. Andu coming in, cruising home for second.
That's going to be a substantial win, like good 30-odd seconds plus.
Well, that gives Andu a 1-1-2 in the championship, which is good.
Excellent.
What's that give Woody, a 1-2 and another 2?
Good question.
Yeah. It's still tight at the top.
Yeah. The Shaw and Partners high enough up that they've got to do a little jibe, I think.
Jibe, I think. After rounding Shark Island, they had to reset the spinnaker. That's
Yeah.
set them up for the jibe, I think. Here we go. Jibe on Shaw and Partners. Nothing special about that, just get you to the finish line.
Yeah, pretty conservative jibe angle.
Our main Slake, is he going to make the finish line from where he
no,
is?
he's good. He's good.
He's good?
He's good.
Copy.
He's enjoying it too, I'd say.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Picked it for the snag in 7.
What, top 10? I thought you said 6th.
Top
Right.
10, 6.
Rag and Famish challenging Lazarus.
Got to have the Rag and Famish support team running everywhere.
Lazarus crossing, Rag close behind them. Following then is Smeg. There's the Smeg. Pretty good effort to recover from the OCS.
Yeah, I think without the OCS, they might have ended up third or thereabouts.
Yeah, got to be pretty happy with that comeback.
Yeah.
Burrowing just behind us, crossing the line. There they go. And then there's a little bit of distance between the next few boats.
Just for the viewers at home, just a reminder, we won't be, this is our last one for this year, not the season, for the year, so we're not back until the 15th of January.
It's a long holiday.
Well earned holiday.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, plenty of yachting in Australia over the Christmas period. All the other classes. Long ocean race called the Sydney Hobart. Plenty of other action.
Here's the Birkenhead Point Marina and
Burrowing.
No, I think that's Royal Oak
Four Pines. So, Bucko, there's a lot of fans of the Birkenhead Point skiff crew up in Warhope, up near Port Macquarie.
Yep, the War Choppy.
All watching with interest.
Well, g'day to you folks. Sydney Harbour looks a picture, and your boys have struggled a little today to get ninth. Assuming they don't have any further bits of bother.
Go, you good thing.
Yeah, well, the quality of the front of the fleet's pretty high, and there's a lot of ingredients that have to merge and work together to get the thing around the course efficiently, and it takes time and effort.
Oof, doesn't it what?
As you know, Cup.
Well, like just for the crews that are leading the regatta, to maintain that level of consistency, boat maintenance.
Yep.
There's so many things that goes into winning a skiff regatta, same as any regatta.
The continuous improvement plus boat maintenance is a major job, isn't it?
Yeah,
Cup?
yeah. They think it's a recreational Saturday or Sunday, but a lot goes on during the week behind the scenes.
She's a full-time job for a couple of blokes, is what it is. So, folks, top 10, and there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats still coming, we think.
That's Noakes Blue there on screen, Bucko.
Noakes Blue coming at us, and
The Kitchen Maker.
and
who's that?
80 footers,
Barrel Grill.
I've probably got a fall from grace to get back there today. Top 10, pretty good win from Yandu, defending stoutly. Andu second. Shore & Partners, a good effort in the lead for a while. Pretty accurate sailing in the most part. A couple of little errors. Then Lazarus, Rag, Smeg after a recall. That's a 7th. Burrowang, a good day out for Michael Kennedy in the bow on the Burrowang. 8th, helping them around. 9th, Birkenhead, and 10, Royal Oak. It's been a great day on Sydney Harbour. Thanks to Michael, Piers, Alex, Sam and Dylan in the back of the bus, bringing you the pictures and the noise. Jimmy, thank you very much. Great day out. And Cub, for being the #1 substitute commentator. Thank you so much.
Been a pleasure.
Thanks, mate. Over and out, viewers.
Well, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yep.
It's been a Sail Media production for the Australian Only Footers League. And we'll see you all in January. Thanks for coming.
Ho, ho, ho. And away we go. So how many boats are coming from overseas?